Hello, this is Pat Ota. This video will walk you through how to access curriculum resources for this school year, as well as a quick overview of the unit plans. I am hoping to show you ways to connect to information as you plan for school. The first part is how to connect to calendars using Finalsite. Finalsite is an important information tool for all of our students and families, as well as ourselves. And it is where the high school will be posting all assignments and deadlines. So I'm going to show you how to make sure that you have all the correct calendars on for yourself so that everything is visible for you in Finalsite. So first you log into Finalsite and then navigate to the faculty portal and then scroll down to classes, and the last class on my list is upper school faculty. Click on that. This page has a shortcut to the index of resources that I'm going to show you later on. And if you click on calendar, manage calendars, there are all these different types of calendars that are in Finalsite. So if this was a course, you would be looking at assignments, but if you click on my calendars, you'll notice that your courses can be turned on here. And if you click on site calendars, these are the calendars that you will need to have on so that you can see the events that might be occurring for the day. Of course, if you are a middle school teacher, you could uncheck some of these, like the high school student activities and high school faculty and staff. At bare minimum, however, you should have the bell schedule checked, the high school, middle school faculty and staff checked, as well as the K-12 calendar, which will have holidays and K-12 types of announcements. Now, the calendars are fed from a Google Calendar system, and each year we re-establish the connection to the larger groups, the high school faculty, middle school faculty, high school staff, upper campus administrators, by sending you an email. Peter Lum will be sending it to you, and when you are sent the email, you should click the link to add the calendar back to your Google Calendars. So if you have Google Calendars linked for your own personal apps and that sort of thing, these can be a part of that. Just make sure that you check off the same types of calendars as what I showed you earlier in Finalsite. So here's the list of what will be available from HBA. If you can't see a calendar, make sure that you contact Peter Lum. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the curriculum resources that are available on Google Drive. This is very important. When you receive the link to the curriculum resources for this year, make sure that you add it to your drive. Otherwise, you'll be searching around and it'll be a lot more difficult to find. So what you would do is add it to your drive. So here's a demo of what I mean by adding it to my drive. So in your Google Drive, you would go to Shared with Me and find the curriculum folder, which I own it, so I can't use it in this demo. So I'm going to use this folder, which somebody has shared with me, and I'm going to right-click it, and I'm going to add a shortcut to Drive. So then I navigate to my drive and add the shortcut. So now this folder, which somebody has shared with me, is now part of my drive. So if I went back here to my drive, I could find the Camp Corwin folder somewhere down here. Oh, it's off screen. Here it is. So it's here linked in, and because of the way I've labeled this folder, the Curriculum Resources folder, it will appear near the top section of your drive. So within the drive, there are all types of information that you might need to access as a teacher. Things like faculty meetings, the agendas, and slide presentations, our faith integration emphasis, lists and charts, maps of the campus, bell schedules, handouts and plans, all kinds of things. So you really want to have this drive readily available to you throughout the year. Also in the Curriculum Resources folder, there is the index of faculty resources. You can also access the index on the final site, which is our LMS, Upper Campus Faculty and Staff page. Anyway, when you get to it, this is what it looks like. There's the reminder to add the curriculum resources to your drive, because that's important. And then it includes a listing of things like specific calendars, teaching assignments, bell schedules, and a lot more. We also have calendars, the year at a glance, which has all of the holidays in it, as well as the bad calendar, big assignments and deadlines. This year, you'll notice that the bad calendar looks pretty plain because for now, it just has the different bell schedules. The last thing I'm going to talk about are first day handouts and unit plans. So remember, the first day handout is what we give to our students to tell them about the decisions that we've made about how the class will run and what we will be learning. As you go through the checklist, you will notice that most of it is the same, but there are some changes because of the needs of online instruction. So please check that out. I've changed the structure of the unit plans for this year. The first page has the instructions as well as a QR code. Remember, you need to make a new copy for yourself for each course that you will be teaching. And it begins with the bigger portions of your course. So you would fill out this information. These are the questions we're thinking about regarding teaching and learning, the larger goals. And then there is a unit called Unit 0, which you may or may not want to use. Unit 0 is a course overview. If the structure of your course is such that the patterns are pretty similar from unit to unit, you could pretty much fill this out with your learning practices, how you plan to use 90-minute periods, 30-minute periods, how you're going to handle homework assignments, what types of strategies you're using for focused lessons, guided instruction, collaborative learning, and independent tasks. And then that will be sufficient for your plan. The other thing you might want to do, though, is you may want to make a plan for each unit where the understandings, questions, content, and skills are laid out. And you may have specialized learning activities that may occur in the unit, but again, just keep the portions that you need to describe your course for your own plans and delete the parts that you do not need. So I've set it up so that you can do all of the units, if you want to, for the quarter in one plan. Now what's missing here, and I've even ended with a unit X so that if you have more than 3 units, you can add copies of this to this document. What's missing from this that I have included from previous years is that chart that has what you plan to do each day for a particular unit. So that has been replaced with an assignment chart that looks something like this. So here you can lay out what your learning targets are, any type of assignments, any type of assessments. You can adjust the columns, but we're mainly interested in the learning targets for at least 3 weeks of instruction. It's up to you whether you will continue to use this throughout the quarter for planning purposes, but as far as being ready for the beginning of school, we'd like you to fill this out for your classes for about 3 weeks. So this document, in connection with the unit plan, will be your plans for this quarter. So the minimum requirement is to get your first day handouts to your department chair by Friday, and also be working on unit plans for about 2 to 3 weeks for each of your courses. I realize that many of you have multiple preps, so you may need to work out a different deadline with your department chair as needed. The main thing is we want you to think through the decisions that need to be made before instruction begins on Monday. Regarding the bell schedule, just a reminder that the overview of the schedule is linked to the index. Here's a video explanation of how it works. And for the first week of school, the adjustment is that we will have day 1 twice, with half of the grade levels coming at a time. So if you teach a course that has students in mixed grade levels, you may be reteaching it to 2 small groups. The other thing is in the afternoon, you'll notice we still have D3, which is that little 30-minute period. So you will have your D period group there. You can either run it as part of your class if it's a singleton, or if it's part of a multiple sequence of classes. For example, for the 8th grade teachers who teach the same class 6 times, you may want to run it as a guided study, because A and B and C will not be having that 30-minute period at the end of the day this week. Later on this week, when we talk about the logistics, we will be explaining further how lunch is going to work, and as well as chapel and homeroom. So that's it for my presentation for today. I will be available to answer questions. And if you don't join us in the meet, you can email me or contact a department chair if you have specific questions. Thank you.